Have you been saying, I don't have the time to show up and be consistent? I know. I was there too. I was spending hours and hours on social media, hustling, grinding, finding my people. So what did I do? I leaned into a new platform. And of course, we're talking about podcasting, but maybe you're not ready because you have been on Google University forever and podcasting is quote unquote so hard that you don't have time to take it on. But what if I told you if you approach it with the right strategy, you can actually make a big impact. And that hour you just spent creating a reel, if you took that hour and created a podcast episode or two, that episode would make an impact for longer because your person is busy. We're all busy. We are going to social media to numb out, not to fully engage. So if you want to know if podcasting is right for you and your business, this episode is for you. It's time to get your time back and get the freedom that is attached to podcasting. Let's go. Welcome to the podcast about podcasting, where you guessed it, we're talking all things podcasting, but not just in the sense of strategy of how to launch, grow, and monetize your show. Of course, you're going to get that, but we're also going deep into how podcasting can help you with your self-care, build your community, build your confidence. And if you're willing to lean deep into this platform, it can be your ticket to the life of your dreams because it'll inspire you to go deeper with your self-love. And we all know success starts from within. If you are ready to stop being a ripple in this world and bust out your tsunami of change you know you were made for, it's podcasting for your soul. So let's dig in. So I want to talk to you about why podcasting can help you get your time back so that you can actually be consistent with something that is growing your business, that is getting in front of new people without you having to hustle and burn out. And before you click away and go listen to that other podcast, I want you to really think about this. How are you consuming podcasts? You're obviously here because it's easy to consume, right? It's great for the busy person. Most of my people are probably in the shower, taking a poop, you're on a walk somewhere, maybe you're doing the dishes. It's easy to consume. And here's the kicker. It's not as hard and time consuming as you've been led to believe by a lot of experts, you've been led to believe by Google University. Of course, it looks complicated when you don't have a step-by-step path to follow. And you do have to unlearn some things because what we're taught with social media is to hustle, to throw money at ads, to do all those things. Well, podcasting is a completely different marketing tool, completely different strategy, but one that will leave you actually making an impact in, I'm going to say at most 3 hours a week. Realistically, this podcast, with all the marketing I do, which is growing leaps and bounds, is taking me about 90 minutes a week from recording to editing to creating. Yes, I still use Pinterest, some graphics, doing the SEO research and showing up in a way that makes it so that I can connect with my audience. I'm spending about 90 minutes. And you know what those 90 minutes are leading to is people coming into community, people getting on to CPR podcast audit calls. Don't know what that is? Clarity, people, revenue. Yes, your podcast, if you already have a podcast, might need some CPR, or maybe your podcast idea needs some CPR. You can check the link in the show notes below if you want to grab one of those free podcast audit calls. Great for beginners and for those that are already struggling. But realistically, when is it time for you to start your podcast? Right now. Yes, it is growing. It is growing at crazy amounts, but we're still in the low millions, like maybe 2 million podcasts to billions of people you're fighting for attention on social media. The other thing is when you start thinking about podcasting, do you actually know who your ideal client is? Does your ideal client really have time to sit down and actually pay attention to something, whether that's video or scrolling or a long form blog? Does your person have time? Do you have time to do that? I know I sure don't. So you really need to be able to be open to what is it that your listener or your ideal client needs, so that you can actually focus on delivering in a way that feels good, that makes an impact for them. And again, that you're not fighting the algorithm for. There's episodes from over almost 3 years ago on my other show that are getting between 5 to 10 new downloads every day from 2 years ago. That might not sound like a lot, but when you actually think about it, like 5 to 10 downloads a day, that's an extra 300 people that are listening a month to that episode that I put out over 2.5, almost 3 years ago. Boom. If that doesn't have you convinced, let's just start talking about this. So if you're really busy and your client's really busy, podcasting is great, because if you approach it with the right strategy, like I said, this one takes me about 90 minutes a week. My other podcast, which I do all interviews and I release twice a week, takes me about 3 hours a week. Both of them are growing. My other podcast is in the top 10% of podcasts across the world, out of all podcasts. And what do I do to market it? On occasion, I'll share it on social media if I have a guest, because they love to share their graphics. But other than that, I use behind the scene strategies. So if you love to talk and you love to consume via audio and you know your person is video, it might be time to start a podcast. Another reason is if you prefer audio over video, having to endlessly post, creating reels, learning the transitions, learning the algorithm to only fail and get likes and comments, but it doesn't lead to money in your bank account or you actually serving people, then audio might be for you. Right now, I got this crazy download of what I wanted to say in this podcast while I was in the shower. Guess what I didn't have to do? Get ready to show up on camera. I'm here in my towel, hair up in another towel, sharing this with you because it's coming from a heart, a place of service. So if you are someone who wants to serve from your heart, wants to serve from your soul, and doesn't want to have to put on an act to try to please other people's whatever, or whatever you think you have to do to show up visually, podcasting is great for you. Sometimes social media can be hard because you all of a sudden get haters. This just happened to me. I posted a reel and it wasn't even anything. It was just literally a video of me doing something that I enjoy doing. And I put a song over it. I didn't put anything down. It got I think it was like over 10K views, and it had something like 500 likes. But you know what that didn't leave me? It didn't give me any gratification in my bank account. It didn't make any new connections for me. And here's the thing. The one person that commented, you know what they wanted? What they told me? They told me that I should start thinking about counting calories. Like, people don't really go out of their way on your podcast to hate on you. There's the quality of people that are over here on podcast land are so much better. So if you are being called to share from your heart and actually serve and teach others and actually be a benefit, maybe it's not teaching, maybe it's inspiring or entertaining others, podcasting is for you, because you truly get to share from your heart without the haters shutting you down, without being, cancel cultured, without the worry of having your platforms pulled out from under you at any moment. Because you're allowed to share, you're allowed to show up as you, and you can be seen and heard for who you are, for your message. And the right people will come if you position it correctly, organically, where you're not out having to search for those ideal people. You set it up, you set up the back end, you do the right steps, the right strategy. It's like a magnet. Your people come into you. 95% of my sales come from my 2 podcasts. And I'm not on social media, being a slave. I am serving from my heart. So the one thing that you have to also be is coachable and willing to look at a new situation, a new way of marketing, a new way of doing business. Because if you want more time, more freedom, podcasting is a great tool to do that. Are there other platforms out there like that? Yeah, I kind of think that you might be able to get away with YouTube, but I truly believe that podcasting is superior because it's audio only and people can be distracted and listening to you and still be picking up what you're laying down subconsciously and consciously. It is truly the easiest way to consume. People spend more time listening to full episodes, taking away things and getting to know you because you don't feel that you have to show up in a manner that pleases anyone else. But does it take time to learn the strategy? Yeah. The strategy itself is relatively easy. It's those unlearning patterns. It's the truly letting go of social media. I'm struggling with that right now. I really just want to cancel my Instagram account. I really just want to shut down Facebook and go all in with podcasting. But I'm still scared because there's still that mentality. But if you are able to be coachable and learn the other strategies, then boom. Like I said, 95% of my income comes from podcasting, so why would I spend all of my time and energy in trying to be consistent on a platform that can be stolen from me at any time where that content that I've created is relevant for less than 24 hours? So if you're sick of creating all that content and you love creating content and you can talk for, there's so many shows out there. One of my really good friends, the Samantha Parker, has this show called The Glitter. I'll put her information in the show notes. But what she does is literally 1 to 2 minutes a day, she drops a motivation. Her podcast is growing. She's reaching others. She's selling products. She's serving from her heart. She is on a mission to create self-love. And in her mind, self-love, she calls the glitter of life. It's amazing. So you don't have to think podcasts have to be hours and hours. One of the top shows in the world, I think he is 90 seconds or less every day. He shares a quote, shares something else, and boom, is out. So podcasting is a great business model if you want to show up consistently. Spend less time hustling, less time digging and trying to find your people, and have people coming to you that are magnetized by your message, then podcasting is for you. If you are thinking that podcasting might be a great next step and you don't want to Google, grab one of those podcast CPRs. That's the clarity, the people, and the revenue. Because what that does, whether you want to grow your show or you want a new show, let's talk about how podcasting can benefit your business and the plan that can move you forward. Whether or not you choose to work with me, I want to have a conversation with you because I want you to see that there's another side of this hustle burnout culture that we're on. There's another side of ease and flow and being magnetic. There's another side of all of these things. And I'd love to take a look inside your business and see, is podcasting for you? Because there are a few businesses that podcasting is not for you, but I highly recommend having a guest expert strategy for other people's podcasts. And I'm honest. I am not just gonna, hustle and tell you have to buy all these programs and things like that. No, I truly want to serve you. If you choose to work with me after the call, great. If you don't, I've still served you and helped you along with this decision. So if you want to grab one of those podcast CPR calls, grab it below. It's in the show notes. But I truly want you to start considering what life can be like if you have more time to do the things you love. You have more pleasure. If you create a platform that actually magnetizes people to you. Yes, you have to have a little bit more of a thick skin because, hey, podcasting is not instant gratification. You don't get the likes and the follows and the comments and all that stuff as fast as you would on social media. But what you do get is a quality person that's connecting with you that is more likely to buy. I'd rather have a tiny, tiny audience that's buying that I'm serving than a massive following that likes and comments on my stuff but does not actually fill my soul's need, does not actually fill my soul purpose. Because remember, money is an exchange of energy. time for energy. It is an energetic exchange between two people when people come into your service. And the more money you have, the bigger impact you can make. So if you're stuck in money mindset stuff, I got you. Go check out my other podcast, Feed Your Business with Love. We did all of Money May this year in 2022. May of 2022 was a full money mindset reshift. It's amazing. But I truly want you to consider podcasting because you deserve more time, more freedom, more fun, and you deserve a flow of clients that you didn't have to spend hours and hours. You deserve those moments in your life where you get to actually experience the moment instead of trying to take a damn picture or a damn video. You need to look up and see. I mean, if you are anything like me and you are hustling to social media, all those memories you've created, when somebody takes a picture of you, your phone is in your hand because you're in selfie mode or you're in take pictures mode. Take a picture, put the camera away, and enjoy the moment. That's the freedom that podcasting gives to you. So I hope to see you on one of those podcast audits, and I will talk to you soon. Go out and make today amazing because you are worthy, you are wonderful, and you deserve to be paid to share your gifts with the world. So go do the thing. Much love and light. Mwah!